It's 3 a.m. and your eyes are starting to droop. And you look over at your bed and you wonder to yourself, should I try and finish the work that I have due tomorrow? Or should I just call it a day and go to bed? Now to some people, this is an easy decision, as any bit of extra sleep that they can get sounds like a gift from heaven. But to others, this means risking missing a deadline or a different assignment that they have. And these situations are inevitable, as when we get loads of work piled onto us and we try and weave it around the different activities that we have each day, the only time that we actually have time to put our work into it is at night. Now, when I get to these decisions, I have come to find that choosing sleep is the better choice, as when I prioritize work, my concentration starts to go in different directions, and when the next day comes around, I have to put in way more effort just to get through the day. And to expound on this a little more, I will be talking today about how sleep positively impacts our bodies and minds, and also the dangers that we let into our lives if we choose to work at night. To start off, sleep is a process that our bodies have to go through to heal and prepare each day. And WebMD goes to explain how our memories are a part of this, as when we gain information, we have to store it in our minds so that we're able to recall it later. And sleep plays an integral part in this, as when we sleep, we get the information that was gained in a day and we store it in our minds. And our memory also helps when we want to work, so it improves the different work that we can by recalling the past information. Another aspect of our lives that is increased by the amount of sleep is our moods. As when we get more sleep, we have our positive looks at what we're doing, and we have a more optimistic look at everything. But as Harvard University points out, when we start to lose sleep, our more negative emotions, such as being more irritable and short-tempered, start to arise. And when these emotions start to arise, people tend to stay away, as they think that you might react impulsively, or you may not be listening as you may be tired. And this falls back on us in our own social lives, as when we are more tired, we tend to push people away as we want to get more nap time in and catch up on any sleep that we have lost. And when we push these people away, it leads to more feelings of loneliness, as Daisy Uhas from Scientific America points out. But all of these things can just be solved with just a few extra days of getting the recommended amount of sleep. So what's the big problem? Why should I always prioritize sleeping? Well, when we decide to prioritize our work, we let in more dangers that can only be described as catastrophic. The Columbia Department of Psychiatry points out that when we start to lose sleep, we allow mental disorders such as insomnia or mental problems like depression and anxiety to increase in our lives. And when these problems start to arise in our heads, it makes life harder, as we are always doubting ourselves and the work that we do. Another problem that arises in our lives is more physical ones. As Break.org points out, when we start to combine the monotonous task of driving with feelings of drowsiness and being tired, we start to increase our chances of getting in a car crash, to the point that even it becomes just as dangerous as drunk driving. And now this also applies to more fatal injuries, such as the ones that have happened throughout history. As SleepFoundation.com points and recounts, the Challenger space shuttle was an event that, due to different miscalculations and little oversights from all of the managers and workers at the time, because they were sleeping on less than 2 hours of sleep, it led to the inevitable fate of the crew that was aboard the shuttle as it exploded. And another event that has had a more lasting effect is the explosion of the Chernobyl nuclear plant. And the little discrepancies and miscommunication that happened eventually led to radiation that is still in the area to this day, 36 years later. And these harm not just us, but also the people around us as well. And this is more of a serious issue. And also, when we decide to lose our work. We also have a decrease in the quality of work. And as Fort Healthcare Business Health says, that when we just miss 1.5 hours of sleep, our productivity and efficiency drops by 32%. And if our reason to stay up is to get our work finished, wouldn't we want it to be at the best quality that it can be? And when you put all of these different physical, emotional, and mental problems at work, is staying up just to work really worth it? So in the end, when we want to sleep or work, we should always factor in what we are bringing into our lives when we choose these. As when we sleep, we get more mental boosts, our capabilities of remembering and putting our different information to work is improved. As compared to when we prioritize work, we allow for different dangers to arise and harm to come to others. So when it is late at night and you're working on something, consider putting down the assignment and just going to bed. Thank you.